Okay, so this is the beginning of part 2, how I weathered this boxcar. One of the techniques that I was showing you was putting the chalks on. How I've done that was took a stiff bristle brush like so, and I would dip that down into the chalk, and then holding the boxcar at an angle sideways with the paint wet up here, I would tap the brush and let that chalk fall where it will on this car, on the side of the car. And then I would take my blow dryer, dry the car, and take another stiffer bristle brush after, and that's my old faithful brush right here. This is about 30 years old, that brush, and it is real stiff. If you can see, you'll see a little bit of chalk still coming off that brush, but I took that and just scrubbed down on the chalk where I wanted it. Then I took and made sure this car was totally dry with my hair dryer, and then I took my matte spray and I took it outside and sprayed that car again, brought it back in and dried it again. And when that thing was totally dry, then I could take my small brush and mixing some different rust solutions real wet, I could take and just touch that brush up to the top, and that would just put enough paint on there just to hang up there a little bit, and it would be wet enough to draw itself down the side. As it drew it down the side, then I took an even finer brush, there it is, and I would just take that and just touch it to the bottom of the drip and just draw it down, straight down. And these drips were just minuscule. They were just tiny little drips. So if you can see that brush, drag that wet spot down, drag it down. Okay, I'm going to show you another car. And see these drips on the side made by starting that off on top, and usually I'll have my car sitting this way when I start it, and I'll draw some paint up to the top that's wet, and then I'll slowly taper it down so it'll start moving on its way down. Okay, so, and then I'll drag it back up to the top. See, and then I'll start another one over here, let that drip down. And dry by itself before I hit it with a hair dryer, because once you hit it with a hair dryer, it's going to start flying around and going where it wants. So what you want to do is you want the paint to set up a little bit first